In this video, I'm going to break down how I paid off all my student debt in 1.5 years back in 2022. So I was in college. I started out in community college, which was a little bit cheaper. And I did around 2 years there. And then I decided to go to nursing school because I was trying to be a doctor. And then halfway through nursing school, I decided to quit being a doctor. And so I ended up not knowing why I was in nursing school. So I dropped out of that. And then I went into a University of Maryland Global Campus where I got my degree in computer networking and cybersecurity. And I remember sitting in one of the counselor's offices and talking to them about student debt and whether or not I was going to take a loan or not. This was in the nursing school phase. And they were talking to me about, it's zero interest until like 6 months after graduation. And so I had in mind that I would be like, okay, I'll get this job as a cybersecurity analyst or something, or computer networking, and then pay off all my debt within that 6-month window. Sounds like a plan. And so when I was getting nearer to graduation, it didn't really look like I was going to get a job because it was very hard to get an internship. And so I was kind of stuck, and I was starting to panic a little bit because one of the things I don't like is debt, and even more, I don't like paying interest. So, which means that you're just going to start being stuck in payments for the rest of your life. And that was like a nightmare. And so I was like, I need to figure out what to do. And that's when I realized that it was around the time when, COVID was still there, and they had put, the pause on interest where it was zero interest payments for, student loans. And so I decided to take advantage of that. And when I graduated, it was around the beginning of 2022. And I didn't know when they were going to lift the interest, zero interest rate. So I had to get down and just pay it off before, it got lifted. So how did I strategize it? So first of all, I had just gotten married around the beginning of 2020, and when I graduated, I had filed my taxes for 2021 and around March or February of 2022. And so I got back a good chunk of money from the COVID benefits. And so I was able to pay a good chunk of my student debt, which was around $40,000. My student debt was around $40,000 when I graduated. And so I got around nine or $10,000 from my tax returns in 2022, the beginning of 2022. So I took that and put it right into the student debt. And then I decided to lay out a plan where I would pay $450 a week until I paid it off, which was around 70 weeks, kind of give or take a year and a half. And so at the time, I had a job working at a data center, and my salary was around $450 a week, would be just around half my weekly salary. And so I had to strategize. I had to take advantage of this zero interest period at the fullest and pay off that debt, so I didn't have to have the student loan payments with interest. And so I sacrificed a lot of things, and also other things that helped me out was that we were still looking for a house. So I was living in my parents' basement, and so all I had was like the minimum expenses, like groceries and and gas and stuff like that. So I was able to squeeze it down to just half my weekly salary and was able to budget for that $450 a week, which wasn't easy. Like for a year and a half, every single week I was paying off $450. So I was able to pay it off, and I paid it off with zero interest, and I got rid of it early 2023. And so I'm glad that I'm debt free right now, and I always find a strategy to pay off my debt. And so if you're really interested in how to move through these situations and being able to strategize and stick to your plan, even though you might struggle sometimes, I'd recommend watching this video right here where I talk about the two methods or the two mindsets in which you have to have if you want to stick to your plan and never quit.